Hey guys, Traveling Taylor back here with you, and I want to talk to you about one of my favorite online tools, which is Tailwind for Pinterest. Now, I looked back at my content calendar and realized it had been an entire year since I've made a video about Tailwind, which is really kind of crazy considering it is a tool that I use on a weekly basis. Like, I don't think I've ever missed a week since I started using it. It's a huge part of my Pinterest marketing strategy. So today I am going to go over the seven, yes, count them, seven mistakes that you're probably making with Tailwind. And stick around for number 7, yes, the very last one, because it's going to be a brand new feature that you've probably maybe haven't heard of and you've definitely have not used. So you're going to want to stick around for that. If you're curious, you can just jump to the end. That's fine. That's fine too. But you don't want to miss 1 through 6. Okay, mistake number 1 that you are probably making with Tailwind for Pinterest is not using your board lists. So board lists allow you to group boards by common themes so that when you go to post a pin that kind of fits, 4 or 5 different boards, you can just quickly click that one and it adds it to all 4 boards. So for example, the pins I am typically pinning relate to travel, online business, or digital nomad, kind of in that realm. So I have multiple board lists: travel tips, online business entrepreneur, digital nomad lifestyle. And then I have my, 3 or 4 boards that actually fit into those groups so that when I create a blog post or a video on that topic, those are the boards that they're typically going to go to, and it groups them that way. So to create your board list, go to your publisher page and then up on the top menu, click on board list. And that is where you can actually group your boards. And it's just a really quick time saver. And once you select that board list, you can always delete boards if they don't quite fit for that pin, but deleting one is still much faster than adding 4. So be sure to go ahead and create your board lists. Okay, mistake number 2 is not optimizing your schedule for the best times. I mean, what's the point of using Pinterest as a marketing strategy if you're not getting things out there when people are going to see it? That's not really the point. Tailwind allows you to create your weekly and daily schedule ahead of time. So if you go again to your publisher page and then go up to the top menu where it says schedule, in there you can actually set the different times per day that you want your pins to post. Now, this is also really great because Tailwind will learn your followers and the people who see your pins, and they will start to suggest the best times when things are going to be seen. So I recommend going in there, maybe on like a monthly basis and just making sure that all of your pins are posting at the most optimal time for your followers. Now, mistake number 3 is not using intervals. So intervals are from your drafts page, and you go ahead and you have your pin, you have your boards, you have your description, your SEO based description, and then you're ready to hit schedule. But before you hit schedule, you should hit that button that says interval. What that is going to do is allow you to space out your pins over different days. So again, it's not best Pinterest practice to spam your followers with the same content all at the same time. Nobody wants that. Like, you don't want to see that. Nobody else wants to see that on your page. So it's best practice to actually have your pins scheduled out over multiple days. So for me, I typically pick around usually 5 to 7 days to interval out any new pins that I am scheduling. Minimum of 2. You do not want to go less than 2 days of having your pins post or the same pin post. You can have multiple of your own pins a day, but you don't want the same pin to post less than 2 days apart, and you can schedule them all the way up to 90 days. So if it's kind of more of an evergreen content, maybe you just go ahead and have it just kind of like flow every now and then and to kind of just keep it in your rotation. Now, the other thing that you can do with intervals is you can actually select the first day and time that you want it to go out. So maybe, like I do this sometimes with my YouTube videos. I have the YouTube link, but it's not going to publish till Tuesday. So I might be working on my pins on the weekend and kind of getting it ready for the week, but I don't want it to go out too early because that link won't work. So what I'll do is I'll get it into Tailwind. I'll pick, Tuesday or Wednesday when I want that first pin to go out, and then it'll be on a 7-day rotation after that point. So interval is huge. It's a really great way to kind of keep your post optimized for the best times, but also making sure that there's enough break in between and you're not spamming your followers. Okay, mistake number 4 is not utilizing tribes. So this is a really unique feature of a Tailwind for Pinterest. And what it allows you to do is join tribes, which are sort of groups based around different themes. Again, for me, I'm in like a couple different travel groups, a couple different online business or work from home groups, and then a couple of digital nomad groups. So that's kind of the things I talk about. So that's the kind of content that I want to repost. So tribes do one of two things. The first thing that it does is it allows me to fill in my schedule. So I have my content, but then I fill out my schedule for the week with other people's content, which is another best Pinterest practice. You want to make sure that you're not just pinning your content, but you're also pinning content from other people that's within your brand and in your niche. The second thing it does is it gets my content in front of new audiences. So just like I'm pinning other people's content from the tribes are also pinning my content. So you can upload your pin once you have your title and your description and everything. Again, before you hit schedule, maybe I should do a before you hit schedule video for Tailwind. But before you hit schedule, you want to add it to your tribes. You want to use that interval, and then you want to schedule it. So that's how you can add your pin to a tribe, but you also want to make sure you go check on them and that you're regularly pinning other content from those tribes. Now, mistake number 5 that you're probably doing is not shuffling your queue. Now, your queue is your schedule that's about to go out, and shuffling it just mixes up the pins that you've kind of done. This is really simple, and it's something that I typically do after I go through my tribes. So my workflow for Tailwind is I upload my pins, I get them all scheduled and kind of spaced out, then I go to tribes, then I kind of fill in those gaps, and then I go back to my schedule page and I click on the shuffle queue button. It shuffles it automatically, and that just kind of breaks up content. So usually within the tribes, I'll go through the travel groups, do a bunch of travel pins, then I'll go through the online business groups, do a bunch of those, yada, yada. But I don't want them to all just go on Pinterest in groups of like 2 to 3 days, of like 2 days of travel, 2 days of business. I want it to kind of be spread out, and I want it to be all the things that I talk about all the time. So shuffling that cube, it just mixes them up and kind of moves pins around. But your pins that you have scheduled do not move. So if you've already set your schedule, you'll notice there's a little lock icon on your pins. And so those won't shuffle unless you want them to. So you don't have to worry about that. For me, it's just kind of making sure that all of my tribe pins have kind of getting a little bit of shuffle in there. Mistake number 6, we're getting so close to 7. But mistake number 6 that you're probably making is not checking your insights. So if you are using Pinterest as a marketing strategy and you are using Tailwind to help you with that marketing strategy, you should be checking your Tailwind insights. So you can look up a lot of different things over there. Just your general overview, your virality score, your engagement score, your web insights, your board insights, your top pins, your pin insights. I mean, all the things around Pinterest you can get some stats for. So I would go in there probably on a weekly basis and get an idea of like what's working and what's not working with your Pinterest strategy. Now, mistake number 7 that you are probably making because you're probably not using yet is Tailwind Create. What? Okay, so what is Tailwind Create? Tailwind Create is a brand new feature that's part of Tailwind, where you can actually create your pins through the platform, create your pins, throw them into your drafts, and publish them just like easy peasy, just like that. I have gotten the beta version of this as a Tailwind affiliate. So yes, I am an affiliate of Tailwind. Again, I told you I use it on a weekly basis. Why would I not be? So this is a amazing new feature that they are rolling out, and it is going to, just like all the things I've talked about before, which will save you time and optimize and improve your Pinterest marketing strategy. This one will do all of those things. So not only can you create high quality pins directly from your account, so there will be no like creating here, downloading, uploading, doing the whole dance of getting something scheduled on Pinterest. It can all just be done for one platform, along with your analytics and your insights and all of that stuff. So another thing about Tailwind Create is that because Tailwind and Pinterest are partners, these are like Pinterest optimized pins. So if you're like me and not really a designer, like I can, use some templates at Canva and come up with something kind of pretty, but I definitely look at other people's and I'm like, man, that's definitely a lot better. I would have never even thought about that. That's just not how my brain works. Totally fine. Do what you can. That was always kind of my attitude. Do what you can. It'll be okay. But now with the Tailwind Create, I can actually create high quality content pins, and I can do it quickly. So the other day I timed myself. I jumped on to Tailwind Create for the first time. I uploaded my brand preferences, so you can use your colors and your logo, and then you can also, I don't think you can't do this yet, but I think it's coming where you can upload your own fonts. So stay tuned for that. But I was able to set that up, upload a few photos, but then you can also, they have a stock photo account, so you can pick photos from. So if you don't have all of them, you can kind of mix and match between that. And then you hit a button and it gives you like, I don't even know how many designs. I didn't actually count them all. A lot. It was a lot of designs. And then you can go through and you can customize each one. You can select which ones you like, and then down at the bottom you just hit go to, I think it's schedule or go to drafts. I can't remember. But you just schedule and it takes you to your drafts page, and those pens that you created are just there. So again, I said I timed myself. I did. It was 30 minutes. 30 minutes for me to set up my Tailwind account or Tailwind Create like preferences, create 4 pins for a blog post, and get them scheduled out. 30 minutes. And that is like, first time being in there, I had never played with the tool before, so I know that the more I become familiar with the features and the different ways to kind of edit, that will improve my speed so much. That is way faster than what it normally takes me to create 4 pins. Again, not a designer, but now I kind of am, and that's kind of great. It's kind of awesome. So if you are interested in getting access to Tailwind Create, which hopefully you are, you can use my affiliate link that I will have down in the description, as well as a specific code to actually get access to beta. So if you are already a Tailwind user, use that code. If you're not a Tailwind user, you'll need to start at least a free trial at a very minimum, so you can get access to that beta program. And the trials, just so you know, they're not time-based. They are based on number of pins. So it's 100 pins and a free trial. Okay, that's it. I should maybe not wait to do another Tailwind video. And guess what? I'm not going to. So be sure to subscribe, because my next video on Tailwind, I plan to do a tutorial of Tailwind Create and actually walk through it with you and show you how easy it is to use instead of just talking about it. So be sure to, if you don't already use Tailwind, that you go sign up, and that if you don't already have Pinterest as part of your marketing strategy, you should start doing that, because Tailwind is making it easier than before to actually get your pins created and out there into the world. And it's just another really great way to save some time and optimize your Pinterest posts. So that is all I have for you this week. I hope you guys love Tailwind as much as I do. And let me know if there's any other tools that you think would be valuable or helpful, or you have questions about, leave them in the comments below and I will make a video. So thanks for sticking with me, and I will see you next week.